Thank you, thank you. Lots of salacious material tonight here in Fraser's apartment. I didn't think I'd be seeing all the talk salad and scrambled eggs happening in front of me here. Does that look like the horse from the Very Brady sequel? Is that just me? Okay. Enough banter! Let's get into this. I wrote this 2 days ago. It's called Finding the Bottom. For most of my life, if you would have asked me, I would have told you that I was a very happy person. And if you would have pressed me further, I would have told you that my superpower is that I don't get sad. That just doesn't happen to me. Like, it happens to other people, not me. So I didn't cry at my dad's funeral, and I didn't cry at my stepdad's funeral. And like sometimes I'd want to, like I'd feel it come in, like your face gets hot and your eyes burn, and you do that thing where you keep swallowing over and over and over again, like that's gonna stop it. But if you concentrate, it does. If you make your face go slack and you just suck the saline back into your eye sockets, you will not be embarrassed by any unnecessary cheek moistening that evening. It was my job not to cry. It was my job to cheer people up. That's what I was there for. I was there to make them laugh and to heal them. I couldn't be sad. There just simply was not any room for it. In 10th grade, my acne got so bad that no one would talk to me without that look of disgust, pity, repulsion, sadness, so clear in their eyes that I doubted if I had any worth at all. But I wasn't sad. Is it bottom when your dentist has to take your mom aside and go, why don't you just take this kid to a dermatologist? Why are you letting them suffer this way? And then I think, like, why is she letting me suffer? And I was like, oh, I'm not worth the money. I was happy! So later, when the skin doctor finally prescribed me a medication that I ended up having to sign a waiver for, because they wanted to make sure that I understood that this cure would maybe cause sadness, depression, self-harm, suicidal thoughts. And we laughed about that. We thought that was funny. Depression? Oh, no. Suicide? Pish posh, I say. Not me, not this one. Tee hee hee, ho ho ho, it is to laugh, I say. My mom jokes that maybe they should even give me extra because my acne was so bad and I'm such an abnormally happy person that maybe this medicine would make me a normal person. It was really funny, you guys. It was really funny. Who here can deny the absolute power of absolute denial? Not me. You just kind of assume that everyone lives that way, smiling in the sunshine, silent sobs under the sheets because crying doesn't count as crying if no one sees you crying. So, it's like, maybe it's chemical, like seasonal, Maybe it's just like stubbing your toe, like, oh, just a minute. Okay, now I'm fine. Better now, never better, actually, totally happy. And it went on like that until it couldn't anymore. And how do you know when you've hit bottom, since bottom is kind of where you live? Not bikini bottom, that's fun. I wasn't living my own life. The life that I was living was built to please someone else. And worse than that, the person for whom I shaped my life, silenced my voice, cut off all of the unlovable parts of myself for, when I came out to her with my truth for the first time in my life where I was sure about something after a life of never being sure about any damn thing, that's when she doesn't accept me for who I am. And not only that, but doesn't even try. Like, that was the moment that her spell was broken. And that was the moment when I lost her. When I realized that my mother's unconditional love actually came with quite a few conditions. It's bottom when she leaves you, but she makes it feel like it's your fault. You try living with not forgiving her, but the hate and pain kind of burn in your stomach like an ulcer. So what do you do when the person that you most need to forgive acts like you owe them an apology? Like, Jesus might have a hard time with that. That guy forgives everybody. But he still makes you ask. She will never forgive me from walking away from her abuse instead of gratefully accepting it because she thought that was so rude. So at this point I'm thinking, maybe I'm not a happy person. Maybe I never was a happy person. Maybe happy to me just meant like happier than normal. Like slightly better than my sadness quo. Maybe. If I wasn't lying to myself, I honestly didn't know what I would say to myself. So for 30 years, I told myself that I wasn't allowed to cry. But that changed very, very quickly. There was this commercial a while back for a product called Restasis. And it's for people who couldn't generate their own tears. And the woman in the commercial, she ends it by, and I do commercial auditions, so I don't know how I feel about her delivery. But she goes, my own tears. What could be better? Thanks, Restasis. And I don't feel quite that way, but now I'm kind of like, my own tears, what could be better? Thanks, estrogen! By the way, that's why I'm kind of sitting, is because I had 2 cocktails upstairs and I'm on Spiro, so I constantly have to pee. But I'm learning that crying is good, and I never knew that before. And it's good, but at the same time it is so scary to me because how do you know when it's going to stop? Do you guys know that it will stop? Because I don't. Bottom is having witnessed my mother disappear for months at a time into a deep depression, and that kept me from her raising me or her seeing me at all. So bottom for me is spending decades abhorring sadness, both in myself and others, and then suddenly feeling all of it, all at once. Everything that I buried rising putrid to the surface like plumes of dead sea life after someone fished with dynamite. It's bottom when you can't stop crying, and it's been 2 days, and like, when does it stop? I don't want to be like my mom. I've got too much to do to be sad. I've got too many people depending on me. But pretending doesn't work anymore. I feel like my eyes could produce a small salty sea, and then that still wouldn't be over. I'd have oceans more inside me. I wish to be done with sadness, but sadness, it seems, will never be done with me. Like, it's never going to stop. And bottom is realizing that it will never stop, realizing that there is no escape from that sadness, and accepting it as the right and proper way that things should be. The sadness was never wrong. My utter rejection of it was what was wrong. Because when my girlfriend got sad and couldn't pretend happy with me, I got angry. Like, did she not want to be happy? I got sad. I'd failed at my job of making her happy. I got scared. Will this never stop in her? Does that mean it'll never stop in me? I felt these things because I didn't know the truth yet. And the truth was that inside of me, maybe inside all of us, behind a closed door, there's a child crying. And I ignored this child for years. And sometimes I would try to comfort people who didn't need it. And I would try to fix people who didn't need to be fixed because I felt desperately like someone needed help, but it was always me. I didn't know. But if you're quiet in the stillness, you can hear that crying, and you can find that closed door, and you can open it, and you can go in, and you can stay with that kid and comfort them because you're the one who knows how to. Because the thing that you were trying to fix in the world, that's really the thing you need to fix inside of you. But you must be brave, and you must go down deep, all the way to the bottom. So thank God for bottoms, because bottoms are where you change direction, you know? Bottoms are where we bounce back. And bottoms are a blessing because without them, we would just keep falling. Thank you.